Have you ever had a paranormal experience, seen a ghost, or even encountering a demon? Today, I will be sharing with you a personal story of mine, my paranormal experience. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. This is After Dark. I have always been interested in the paranormal world, always wondering what's hiding in the dark. But this time, I think I went too far. I was 13 years old at the time when I made the mistake of playing a game with my cousin. We were having a sleepover at her house. We watched a horror movie. Once the movie was over, we started to talk about paranormal stories. She started to tell me about this game one of our aunts used to play when they were younger. She asked me if I would want to play with her. At the time, it sounded exciting. She explained the game and the rules. In this game, you could contact a spirit and ask questions about the future. Both of us thinking it was a lie, we decided to give it a try. We needed a book that was light enough to hold with one finger, a pair of scissors, and a piece of red ribbon long enough to be wrapped around the book twice. We ended up using a workbook from school. As we were collecting the items, she mentioned that it was important to remember exactly where we got everything from. She also said to remember how the things were placed before picking them up. I asked her why. All she said was that it was part of the rules. The first step was to open the book to page 66. Once we opened the book, we opened the scissors and placed them inside the book, and we closed it. We took the red ribbon and wrapped it around the book twice. We picked up the book using one finger. I was holding the right, she was holding the left. We were doing this at 3 a.m. If you know anything about the paranormal, 3 a.m. is known as the witching hour, the hour where the most manifestations happen. It is also said that at this time, the demons are stronger. My cousin then said we had to ask permission from the spirit to be able to play. She mentioned that the book will be turning by itself when we're both holding it in the air. If the book turns and falls to the right, it's a yes. If the book turns and falls to the left, the answer is no. It was time to start the game. We both looked at each other and said these words. Spirit, are you here? The book slowly started to slip from my finger and turned to the right. We both looked at each other, excited to see that it was really working. We both asked for permission to play, and the book moved right once again. We took turns asking questions about the future. Being teenage girls, we asked about boys in school. Once we were both getting bored of asking questions, my cousin had an idea. Her next question was this. If you are a real spirit and the answers you're giving us are correct, can you make Marcus call me tomorrow at 1 p.m. to confirm that this is real? I looked at her and looked down at the book, excited but kind of scared of the answer we might get. The book slowly started turning to the right. The spirit said yes. I was getting kind of spooked out. I just had this weird feeling in my stomach and felt chills all over. I told her I wanted to stop playing. She agreed. We have to say goodbye. We can't stop playing without letting the spirit know we're not playing anymore. We both said goodbye and started to undo everything. I was very tired and scared. All I wanted to do was fall asleep. But my cousin said, not yet. Let's put everything back the way it was. I didn't want to. All I wanted to do was fall asleep. But what she said next disturbed me even more. If we don't put the stuff back, one of us will wake up with the scissors on our chest. She then mentioned that it was part of the rules. That one group of girls had played this game before and didn't put anything back. One of them ended up dying by being stabbed with the scissors that were used for the game. We both took our time putting everything back. Once we were done, we went to bed. I remember I couldn't sleep. Just thinking of us being stabbed by the scissors terrified me. The next morning, nothing happened. We kind of forgot about the game. But then, my cousin's phone started to ring. It was Marcus calling her. We both looked at each other and looked down at the time. It was 1 p.m. But days later, weird things started to happen to me. I will always remember this moment. I was getting ready for bed, and I always had this habit of falling asleep listening to music. As I was trying to fall asleep, I started to concentrate on the song. All of a sudden, I felt a small breeze inside my room. A few seconds later, the song that was playing started to slow down and play backwards. I couldn't move or speak, but then the music stopped. I could feel someone breathing in my ear. I heard the most horrifying laugh. I didn't know what to do, so I started to pray and claiming the blood of Christ. Slowly, the song started to play again, but this time, normal, and I was able to move. I couldn't believe what just happened to me. I have experienced sleeping paralysis before, but not this way. I was even questioning myself if what just happened was even real. I wanted to tell my mom, but I just knew I would get in trouble for playing that game, so I kept it a secret. After that night, I would always have nightmares. I remember dreaming this older woman, and all she would do was stare at me and smile. She was very disturbing. Her face was old and wrinkly. Her eyes were yellow, and her teeth always had blood. If you're a fan of horror movies like me, I'm sure you have seen the movie The Conjuring. The movie came out a year after my experience. My sister and I went to see this movie. When the screen showed the witch Bathsheba, my skin went cold. The woman of my dreams looked just like her. The movie was already scary, but this just made it even worse for me. I remember this day, I came home from school and decided to take a nap. As I laid there in bed, I felt this pressure on my legs. All of a sudden, I couldn't move. I was experiencing sleeping paralysis while I was awake. I opened my eyes, but I was unable to move. I could see everything in my room. I couldn't believe that this was happening to me during the day. At night, I was able to deal with it, but now I couldn't even sleep. I would always feel a presence following me everywhere. That same night, I was afraid to fall asleep. This was the last dream and the last time I saw this lady. In my dream, I was walking in a forest, looking for something. All of a sudden, I see the old lady walking towards me, very slow. Then she attacked me, pushed me to the ground, and started scratching me everywhere. As I was changing and getting ready for school, I noticed that on my right leg, I had a scratch. I panicked, and I knew that I had to tell somebody, so I decided to talk to my grandma about it. My grandma was very religious and had a very close connection with God. She's the one that taught me everything, so I decided to tell her what was going on. She mentioned that a couple of girls in Mexico had played a certain game. She wasn't sure if it was the same game that we played. But she did say that one of the girls ended up being possessed and died. I asked my grandma to pray for me, and after that, I haven't felt that way since. I honestly think a spirit attached itself to me that night I played that game. Now that I am older, I understand that giving permission to a spirit is dangerous and can put yourself at risk for possession. I strongly feel that the older woman I would see in my dreams was a demon. Little by little, it kept getting closer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my personal experience. I would love to hear yours. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below. I will see you guys on my next paranormal story.